hurt, who's available, how many of the top 15 guys already have a fight. There's a lot of things that go into deciding who's next.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.
Here,
Yep.
over here, this.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I may be not an expert in everything, but I didn't understand quite the thing about John Jones and the California Commission about possibly testing for whatever
Well,
recreation.
so here's what happens. So all the stuff, all the stuff that happened before this, the testing and all the stuff. They tested him in California too, but there's drug tests the night of the fight too. You get drug tested tonight or whenever it is, So he has to pass those drug tests too. The difference is when you're in competition, they usually test for recreational drugs too, marijuana, cocaine, and all these different things. John Jones' future depends on a lot of different drug testing. This guy needs to keep passing drug tests. He needs to stay clean, stay straight, keep training, stay in the gym, keep winning, and this guy can completely turn his life around.
Okay, so what would happen if you didn't pass a test after tonight?
I'm going to kill myself.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen. Sorry.
Huh?
I wouldn't want that to happen.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Some other people in here would.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, Dana. Mm-hmm. Over to your right. Of all the things that John Jones is good at, the many things he's good at, is the best thing his ability to block everything else out and get in there and fight? Of all the things that are going on,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
uncanny.
what's fascinating about this guy? When you think about him as a fighter, he's one of the strongest people you've ever seen, and physically, mentally, emotionally. All the drama that was going on this week, and not being able to fight in Nevada and all that stuff, he really did keep it together. And I've seen many fighters crack under a lot less pressure. And the thing is with the guy, if he can get his personal life together, who knows what this guy could accomplish? Knows what he could do.
Chris Cyborg is going to her final contract, final fight on her contract now. Is a rematch? Does that make sense? She hasn't lost since 2005. Do you go right back to Cyborg Nunez too?
I don't think you do.
No.
No, I mean, it's a pretty convincing win.
Sure.
So
what do you do with Cyborg then at that point?
Again, I gotta get back in the lab and figure it out. But we'll come up with something for her.
A couple last things. Kat Zingano, that whole situation where she got a toe in the eye. Have you ever seen? Have you ever
No, it's
seen
pretty
that in a
crazy.
fight before?
I've heard of it happening, but I never saw it before. Unfortunate, and one of those just wacky. If you think about an MMA fight between two really good MMA fighters, and the kicks and the punches and the elbows and all the things that fly around, really is a very unique and odd injury. But I've heard of it happening. Happened to the coach there.
Winklejohn.
Winkle, yeah.
Should that be treated like an eye poke? Like a maybe like a.
I don't know what you'd call it. It's actually a toe poke, but I don't know. I don't know. It happens so infrequently. It's tough to make a call on that. What's that? Yeah. So apparently,
Yeah.
you heard him.
Last couple of things, Dana. Ryan Hall. What do you make of Ryan Hall? He doesn't fight for 2 years, comes in, submits BJ Penn with a heel hook. I don't know. It's
incredible.
Crazy.
I mean, the one thing that I liked about this, and and I don't want to piss BJ off because I love BJ, but I would like to see BJ retire. So in setting up this fight, it set up the perfect fight where it's a submission match between two incredible submission guys. And for him to submit BJ the way that he did, as fast as he did, it's a big deal for that kid, And I'm sure, like Rogan said, I'm sure he grew up idolizing BJ Penn. So to be able to pull that off it's incredible.
Hall said he's having a hard time finding fights. No one wants to fight him. How do you match
Hall?
him up? Yeah, that's what he said. He said no one wants to fight him. I mean, he's like the ultimate specialist, right?
There's no problem finding fights around here. We can find Hall fights. We can get Hall fights.
And last thing, Nick Diaz, I believe, said recently that he's actually not going to fight George Masvidal on that card in March in Las Vegas. He said he's not doing it. Nick Diaz. Any response? Any clarification on that?
I think that's pretty clear. All you got to do is watch his Instagram. I don't think it looks like he's training for a fight.
So that fight's not happening. That's
Yeah,
it.
no.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dana.
yeah.
So Cyborg was really the only featherweight fighter, pretty much. She and Megan Anderson were really the original featherweights in that division. Now that Amanda is the featherweight champion, do you have her defend that belt? Do you hire new girls to fight on that division? What's the future for that division?
I don't know. I gotta figure that out. I need to talk to Amanda and see what she wants to do, and we'll figure it out.
You said that you saw that fight going kind of what it went and Amanda winning. Why were you confident that Amanda had what it took to take out Cyborg?
Well, I didn't say that I saw that fight going that way and Amanda wins. What I said was, when I called that the fight of the night. I thought that was going to be fight of the night because that's exactly the way I thought the fight would go. That those guys would be blasting each other from bell to bell until somebody fell down. And obviously Amanda came out and made it quick. But I expected that to be that type of a fight is what I was saying.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
That's okay.
Now, I have a question about the UFC event in Fortaleza. Jose Aldo is now on that card against Renato Moicano, but that's billed the co-main event to Rafael Assunção against Marlon Moraes. Why is that? Why isn't Jose Aldo the main event for that event?
I agree with you 100%, sir. He wanted to be the co-main event. He didn't want to fight 5 rounds. He wanted 3.
So it was Aldo who asked for
Correct.
the co-main event.
Right.
All right.
I agree with you. That should be the main event, 5 rounds, and should be the fight. But he said, I want a 3-round fight. And you don't say no to Jose Aldo.
Are those two fights, Rafael versus Marlon and Jose Aldo versus Moicano, number 1 contender fights?
I don't know if I'd call it. Obviously, the Sun Xiao fight is, yeah. That's a number 1 contender fight.
And lastly, I want to ask about something that you were saying during the summer, that the morning weigh-ins were gone and that you guys were going back to just having the ceremonial weigh-ins be the official weigh-ins.
Right.
Since then, you haven't mentioned anything, and it stayed all throughout the year. What
That's
happened?
a good question. I don't remember what the hell happened to that. You're right. I forgot about that. I don't remember what happened.
Does it mean that the morning weigh-ins
I think that a lot of
stayed?
people were complaining about it, the fighters and stuff, and maybe we just said, okay, then we won't do it. I don't remember exactly, though. We could find out from my people. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think that was what happened.
And do the flyweight division stays after Cejudo versus
We'll see
Dillashaw?
what happens. We'll see what happens.
Dana, you just mentioned that the Stockholm cards are typically pretty crazy. Are there any plans to expand to any of the other Nordic countries? For instance, Finland has Makwan Amirkhani, Teemu Packalén. A number of different countries have really active and excitable fights.
Yeah, I say this all the time. I mean, we're going to go everywhere. We're going to continue to go everywhere. And some of the things that I said earlier we're working on for 19 and 20, I say this every year, but every year we take the sport to another level. We literally take it to another level every year. And I have to say that this year, the stuff that we're working on is going to be our most progressive year in the history of the company. We got a couple things we need to get through here in the next several months, which I'm very confident will happen. And we're going to blow your minds again.
I'm looking forward to it. Are there any specific plans for countries like Finland, though?
No, not right now, off the top of my head.
Thank you.
There's a guy named Pete Dropic who handles all of our venues and scheduling, and we all get in a room, we sit down, we start looking at different places, what's available, when, what fighters are available for those shows, and we make decisions to move into a new city or a new country or, whatever it might be. So a lot of that stuff isn't in place yet. We're still working on it, especially now with ESPN. Schedule is actually tougher to make with ESPN because these guys are wall to wall with sports.
Dana, it sounds like you do have a lot of exciting stuff coming up next year. When you look back on 2018, though, I mean, there were some highs and some difficult times in general. I mean, how do you characterize 2018?
That was a great year. I feel it was a great year for us, a great year for the sport. Our last year with Fox, in a 7-year deal. These guys were amazing to us. It was a really great relationship. It was fun, and then as far as Lowe's, this is a crazy ass business we're in. I mean, we just moved this event in 3 days. You know, there's always something going on here. This business is worse than a hair salon, man. It's so much drama and crazy bullshit in this business, but it's part of what makes it so fun too.
And then obviously there's a big card coming up in Australia with Volkanovski's win. I mean, Robert Whitaker is obviously a big star doing amazing things.
Yeah.
What can you sort of, point at that you guys did so right in that market?
Listen, Australia is full of fight fans, man. That whole area over there is insane. And that's another one. I can't remember because it feels like it was 3 years ago to me. But we put that thing on sale and it sold out in like a day or hours or something. I can't remember how fast, but it sold out so fast. You know, Israel versus Anderson Silva, and then obviously the main event with Whitaker and Gastelum. That card's going to be sick. I'm flying over there for that one. I can't wait. And, for those of you from the media that have never seen a fight live in Australia, trust me, go to this event. The crowd is insane. It's going to be a very, very fun event. I hope I answered your question.
Dana, one of the first things that Amanda Nunes said is, Dana, I have to be in a Hall of Fame. What's your comments on it?
She said, Dana, I have to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
You're a little young, lady. Calm down. Slow down. She's obviously going to be in the Hall of Fame eventually. She's the greatest female fighter ever.
That's the first thing she said. And
Yeah.
also a question. A lot of fighters from Russia, they have a problem getting a visa to America. Would you like them fight in other countries, or will we see more of UFC events in Russia?
Well, it's not like we've never had issues before, getting people into the country and all these different things. We have our team that works on that does an incredible job. And yeah, if we usually have those issues with people, we'll put them in fights in other, you can fight in England or you can fight over here, or you can fight over there. We figure it out.
Will we see more UFC events in Russia in 2019?
Yes. Thank you. We good? You done with me? Oh, this guy, go ahead.
Hi, Dana. Just wanted to ask you if there was any sort of contingency plan in place in case Nevada is ready to suspend John Jones when they reconvene.
I don't think that happens. Listen, if that was the case with Nevada, if Nevada was seriously concerned about it, the reality is Nevada couldn't do a hearing. They could have done it on Friday. And I talked about with some guys the other day. I'm a degenerate gambler, but I ain't that much of a gambler, okay? I wasn't willing to risk that. If I have an ace and the dealer has an ace, I'm taking even money all day. So we moved the thing to California. They could have stopped us from moving to California. They could have told California they weren't comfortable with it. I don't see John Jones having a problem getting a license in Nevada. He didn't do anything wrong.
Gut feeling or lines of communication open with Nevada right now about what you can expect when they reconvene?
I don't know what to expect, but I would be blown away if they didn't give him a license to fight in Nevada. It makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. We good? Yeah, go ahead, buddy. Yeah, it's coming.
Hey, Dana, so, you and Oscar have been sparring again and back and forth. What's really at the source of your conflicts here?
What started, first of all, this all started with him telling people not to watch Mayweather versus McGregor. Who does that, Then he came out and said that, he basically lied about what guys had been paid, what we were paying fighters, what Chuck Liddell made, what Tito made. He's a liar. And I called him out for being a piece of shit and a liar, basically.
And, he's said that he's going to try to take over with his MMA, of course. And you've talked about boxing. Are you still trying to get into it? Now you're with Roy Jones.
Wait till you see what we do this year. Wait till you see what happens with Oscar De La Hoya in the next 3 years.
So what's your prediction for the zone?
Listen, you guys know me, man. Some of you have known me for a long time. You want a battle? I'm your guy. I'm your guy. Let's do it. Good? Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.